Imagine this, you're standing in a model home, quartz countertops, open floor plan, everything smells like fresh paint, and then later that day you tour a resale home for the same price with twice the square footage. Inside is a bit outdated, but the backyard actually has room to play. Now you're stuck. Here's the thing, in Northern California right now, this is not just a hypothetical. There are new construction homes going up everywhere, entire communities, Vacaville, Dixon, Fairfield. I'm Karrah Salling. I'm a realtor here in Solano County, and I work with buyers navigating the decision between new construction and resale on a regular basis. I want to break down what actually matters in this decision, not the brochure version, the stuff that hits your wallet in 6 months after you move in. I'm not here to sell you on one or the other. Both have real advantages, and both have real costs. My goal is to make sure you walk into either situation knowing what you're actually signing up for, especially the California-specific aspects that some generic advice often miss.
Let's start with what makes new construction genuinely appealing. First, you pick your finishes. Your flooring, your cabinet color, your countertops. You're not inheriting someone else's bad choices from the early 2000s. Second, everything is brand new. The roof, the HVAC, the water heater, you're not replacing a furnace in year 2. And most builders include a warranty, typically 1 year on workmanship, 2 on mechanics, and up to 10 years on structural. Next up, energy efficiency. It is a real upside to new construction. New homes are built to California code, better insulation, dual pane windows, efficient systems. Your utility bills are going to be lower than a comparable resale from the 80s or 90s. And right now, builders are offering incentives, rate buy downs, closing costs, credits, upgrade packages. I've seen buyers lock in a full point or 2 below the market because the builder's preferred lender made it work. You don't get that on resale. Now, the part the builder's sales office won't volunteer, and this is where most online advice falls short because California has some unique layers to this. First, the price per square foot is almost always higher. In our market, new construction typically runs 10 to 20% more per square foot than a comparable resale, and that's the base price. Because the model home you toured, that's the fully loaded version. Those quartz countertops, the luxury vinyl plank, the upgraded cabinets, that's another $20,000, $30,000, sometimes $50,000 just to get that. Walk in knowing what standard actually means and ask to see the basic spec sheet before you fall in love with the upgrade package. Another thing is lot premiums. If you want the bigger lot, the corner, the court location, you're gonna pay extra for that. And in newer communities, those lots are getting smaller to begin with. So sometimes you have a bigger backyard, but on either side of you, you're arm's length from your neighbor. Now, solar. This is a big one and it catches people off guard. In California, solar is required on all new homes. It's not optional and the cost doesn't just disappear because it's built in. You're either paying for it monthly through a lease or you're gonna roll it into your loan, which means you're financing it for 30 years. Either way, you're paying. And if it's a lease, you would want to know if there are escalators. So does the monthly payment go up every year? Because a lot of them do. Another thing is timeline. If the home isn't complete yet, you're waiting 6 months, maybe 9 months, maybe a year. Honestly, that timeline could even change. And at that same time, your interest rate is going to move against you potentially. So your payment changes. And if you're selling your current home to buy, coordinating 2 transactions with an ever-changing timeline can be genuinely stressful. Another thing to think about is property taxes. New construction usually means a higher assessed value right out the gate, but beyond that, a lot of these newer communities have Mello-Roos. If you're not familiar, Mello-Roos is a special tax district that funds infrastructure such as roads, schools, parks, fire stations. It can add hundreds, sometimes thousands onto your monthly housing cost, and it doesn't go away. So some of these districts run 20, 30 years. You need to know if the community you're looking at has it, what the annual cost is, and how long it lasts. And here's another thing most people don't think about until they're ready to sell. Future resale value. If you buy in an area where new construction is supposed to be going up for the foreseeable future, and that describes a lot of Northern California right now, when you go to sell in 5 or 7 years, you could be competing against these brand new homes down the street that come with builder incentives and a warranty. So why would a buyer choose your slightly dated resale when they can get a brand new one for a similar price and a rate buy down? It's not a deal breaker, but it is a real consideration. So what about resale homes? They're not the shiny object, but they do come with advantages that new construction simply cannot match. Established neighborhoods, mature trees, neighbors who've been there for years, parks that already exist. You know what the street feels like, not what a rendering promises it'll feel like in 5 years. More for your money because you're not paying the builder's margin lot premium plus upgrade markup. You typically get more square footage, bigger lot, and often a better location for the same price. Another thing is negotiating power. So builders have a price sheet and they usually don't budge. But with a resale seller, you might have more room to negotiate on price, repairs, closing costs, timing. There's also the opportunity to have immediate move-in. So no construction wait, no temporary housing, you close, you got keys, you're done. And I'll be honest, some older homes were simply built better. Actual hardwood floors, not engineered, solid wood framing, plaster walls instead of drywall. Some of these 60s and 70s homes are absolute tanks and they've already proven they can hold up for 50 plus years. But resale has its own risks and you need to go in with clarity. So things like maintenance surprises. A home inspection helps, but it won't find everything. The sewer line, the roof, the electrical panel. You can do everything right and still face a 5-figure repair in year 1. I tell clients budget 1 to 3% of the home's value annually for maintenance. Some years you don't use it and some years you double it. Another thing you might find are outdated layouts. That charming older home might have a floor plan that doesn't match how you actually live. Small kitchens, closed off rooms, 1 bathroom for 3 bedrooms. Renovations are expensive, they're slow, and they almost always cost more than you budgeted. Another thing is energy costs. So older windows, less insulation, aging HVAC all mean your utility bills will be noticeably higher than a new construction home. And in a California summer, that adds up fast. And what about competition? Resale inventory is tight across Solano County and most of Northern California. You might be competing with multiple offers, and that can mean paying over asking or waiving certain contingencies just to get the house. So here's how I actually think about this with my clients. It's not about which one is better, it's about which trade-offs you're actually willing to make. If you want turnkey, predictable costs, and you're willing to pay a premium for new and you can handle the timeline, new construction makes a lot of sense. But go in knowing the base price isn't the real price, solar is a real added cost, and check for Mello-Roos and think about what the neighborhood looks like when you're ready to sell. If you want more space, a better location, and you're okay with some character and potential projects, resale is likely a better value for you. Just budget for maintenance, go in with realistic expectations, and don't skip the inspection. Even on a competitive offer, find a way to at least know what you're buying. The wrong choice isn't new or resale. The wrong choice is going in blind. If you're trying to figure out which direction makes sense for you or your situation, whether it's Vacaville, Dixon, Fairfield, or anywhere in Solano County, I'm happy to walk through it with you. No pressure, just an honest conversation about your options. The link to reach me is in the description. If this was helpful, hit subscribe. I'm putting out Northern California real estate content every week, and drop a comment. Are you leaning toward new construction or resale? I actually want to hear where you land and why. See you in the next one.